Hi everybody! I hope you're all having a good day. I hope you're all smiling and enjoying your lovely day. In this following tutorial, I'll be showing you on how to connect SlimeVR to VNyan so that way you can use SlimeVR trackers for VTubing purposes, whether it's full body tracking, half body tracking, or even for what I use is arm only tracking with SlimeVR with a stretch sense glove. So before we get started though, I do need to elaborate. If you're an absolute beginner at VNyan, I will leave in the description below some tutorials to help you out on getting started with VNyan. If you are an absolute beginner at SlimeVR when it comes to connecting your SlimeVR trackers to your PC, I will leave the official tutorial that you can watch on how to connect your SlimeVR trackers to the PC program of SlimeVR with the setup wizard. So check that out before approaching this tutorial so you're caught up to speed pretty much. But what we're going to do is, in order, once we have our SlimeVR trackers working just fine, what we're going to do is we're going to go down into settings right here. And then we're going to go into OSC, then VMC right here, and then we're going to click on enabled right here. And then what we're going to do, you don't have to touch these values here, but I do want to elaborate the settings. So port out, there is a default number, just remember what that number is. I changed my number because I use stretch sense, but you can have the default number that's here, or you can set your own. This is the number I use if you want to copy it. So just remember what the number is in here. And then as for these two, I put test chan in here just to have like higher compatibility and the head anchor thing. So you could put a VRM in here or not, up to you. But here, if you are going to have, let's say, full body tracking, but you're going to be sitting down the entire time, I recommend having this setting activated. But otherwise, though, if you're going to be moving around quite a lot, you may want to disable this because this will anchor your hips just to make sure that you're not flying away while you're sitting, if that makes sense. That's what the thing's for. So, just want to make sure that's elaborated, but pretty much in the port out here, make sure you copy this number here, and then we're going to go into VNyan. So click on the menu up here, then go up to settings here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go all the way down to the VMC layers. You can choose one of the VMC layers here, but make sure you paste the number from SlimeVR over here, press enter, and it should pretty much already connect like that very quickly, which is really nice. Now, if you are going to be mixing different motion capture devices via VMC, you may want to adjust these values depending on what is being connected. Now, again, this it's a more of a case-to-case basis on what your settings will be and what you're doing. So if you need like more specific help on that, I will leave the Discord servers, Vtuber Discord server, as well as the SlimeVR Discord server if you need some help with your tracking and stuff. But pretty much, depending on what you are combining via VMC, you may want to adjust these values to disable certain stuff, so that way blending can work well. So if you notice, like, pretty much if your tracking is like jittering way too much, consider just messing with these values. That's all I can pretty much advise. And you can even add some smoothness here. So if you feel like your tracking is a bit too jittery or something like that, then you can of course add some smoothness. But of course, the higher the number, the way slower your tracking is. But usually 0.4 is probably a good number, but again, it really just depends on how smooth you want it and how much of a fast reaction time you want. So besides that, once you have your stuff set up here, you could, as an option, you can either connect your leap motion or your webcam hand tracking here, depending on how you want it. You'll have to like mess with the values and stuff. Let's say, for example, disabling arms, for example, and legs. It really just depends on what you're doing. For my case, I'm using an iPhone, so I'll be messing with like iPhone settings if needed. But there's that. So it just depends on how you set it up, really. So, for example, if you're gonna do full body tracking, you may wanna disable this, for example. But even then, the VMC layer should be smart enough to override it. But if not, if you have any blending issues, just mess with these values here. Same with webcam. Just want to make sure that's elaborated in case you run into issues. For my case, though, because I have arm only tracking for SlimeVR, I will actually connect it with leap motion. So just to kind of demonstrate to you, just an example. So I have leap motion. I'm going to connect it. Now, if I had the track arms here enabled, there are going to be some issues you can see. So this is what I mean by if you notice issues like this with the blending acting all weird, again, you'll have to like mess with some settings to make sure that your tracking looks proper. That's what I mean. So, as you can see, leap motion works well with my fingers, and I got SlimeVR arms. But again, it really just depends on what exactly you're doing. You have to mess with the settings. But I hope that at least helps you out on at least knowing how to connect SlimeVR to VNyan. Though, if you do have issues with connectivity, you can try looking at the firewall tutorial I made in the description below. That could probably help you out, so that way you can, you know, add VNyan and SlimeVR to the firewall, see if that may help with your connection issues. But otherwise, again, there are the Discord servers in the description below. Please join those for further help regarding your issue. But either way, I hope that you do have a lovely day, though. Let me know if you have any questions or tutorial requests, though. And have a lovely day, everyone. See you guys next time, okay? Bye-bye! Thank you to all my Snowflake members. In case you don't know, I have YouTube membership, so if you want to further support this channel and what I do, then feel free to join the Snowflake members. Otherwise though, just your support means so much to me, and I appreciate every ounce of it. Either way though, with that being said though, hey goodbye everyone! I hope to see you guys next time, okay? Bye bye!